Old hippies, what a great generation. Aged but educated by lives of good times and cheap thrills while working, striving and conniving to keep up with a never-ending inflationary pile of bills. Rolling, ceaselessly, from an infant's crib to the elderly's crypt, with no guarantee when men, or our maker, will put an end to it. I like motorcycles and a long endless highway stretching onto an endlessly new byway. Roads going where I've never been before, taking me eventually to tantalizing new doors.
Da doo-dah man say keep on truckin'. Many thinks the Grateful Dead stuck in jamming lyrics and soundtracks one does not dare copy. Not as a profession, pastime or even a miserable hobby. I'd rather leave my writing original while the rest is stolen. Whether it is just fun or a pastime that rhythm has befallen. The poet and poetry are miserable tries at best. Go along reading however and be my guest. And once you're an addict and fallen in, enjoy the addiction. I don't know where to begin.
Road trip to Colorado, wouldn't you guess, I'm a Dodge owner? Rat Fink, innovation of Ed, Big Daddy, Roth, cartoonist, loner, illustrator, custom car designer, builder from the 1960s is iconic as the rock and roll roadster artist and builder of these wild car, motorcycle and mechanical art, as well as producer of working prototypes of his drawings were popular in the 1950s. Take a trip. The scary icon was a highway thriller. Innovation of mayhem, some wanton roadway killer.
They say, be lemonade for all ya. Funny child's chillin', even these chillin's chillin'. They be here till ends of the very earth and universe. What's with our maker willin'? 50 cents for a phone call? Of course you may use the phone, Miss Sassy Pants. We will throw just one huge party, all us take our shirts off and everyone dance. Now don't be thinking things would be getting a little bit out of hand. Be so many people footing the place'll be nowhere to stand. Crank the sound up. Bring the band.
As if you got enough on your mind, wake up and find it is 1969. Guess what? It is a mine, Mr. Natural said. Booty tape or booby trap both kill you dead. Going for a walk with America's Bouncing Betty or the PMK-40 Soviet toe popper? You best be in tracks of some solid armor. A 60-ton M60 tank would be proper. Landmines were a leading cause of American casualties. In 1965, half the U.S. Marine Corps deaths were that casualty. That is, they were caused by mines and traps. Our own kind, perhaps.
Hang in, Murphy. Lock this deep, he may never get out. The secret to taking off on a wave this steep is getting to you feet about very fast or you'll never last. Surfing is a sport where you spend a long time looking for a groove, then grabbing it with the right timing to prolong. Too soon, never catch a wave. Too late, pounded into the sea floor. But for the thrill of the perfect ride of your life, one couldn't ask for more. It is locked in your memory with all the good times you have in store.
In a fix? Reach into your bag of tricks. You can do anything as a protector. Remember Felix the Cat, Rock Bottom, Poindexter and the Professor? That freaky, strange yellow magic bag of tricks could change into objects anything, anyone who possessed it wished. Certainly wouldn't want it to fall into hands of maniacs loose on the Department of Homeland Security most wanted list. There are deranged minds in any country on the planet who could and would make many kinds of devious weapons out of it.
Nothing destroys brain cells like good alcohol. Bottoms up Flaky, in that way his life just gets flakier with booze and drinking every day. Whatever, put your best foot forwards, then just keep truckin'. You will be in the rotten rut day in and out, whatever you're stuck in. Turn on tunin' and drop out his get drunk dancin' and follow the leader. Whoever it is, enough grog you'll be in his footsteps like a true believer. Plodding in the tracks of failures before you till the blunders completer.
To sum my day in a short phrase. Goody gumdrops, people make me sick. Somehow my maker put me on this planet to tolerate other beings who are skeptic. Maybe I won't show up to work at all and leave the ass kissing to my fellow workers. Manual labor is hard and requires mental skills to climb above the other earners. It isn't that I don't want to help my fellow men, what they do for me and what I do for them. When ignored and treated lower, even than dirt. I just want to return that respect, again.
White men can't come out and play today cause he got the shit. Remember, if you got it, don't give it. For God's sake, who did it come from? I caught it, never give it to no one. You all got it too? Sure as heaven above and hell below, it came from nasty old you. Don't be picking up bad habits hanging round them dirty white boys or from foreplay kids you know in some school day romance that had destroyed It can be lethal overseas. You might not be going home. Stay right where you is till it kills you, Holmes.
That's it, get your asses trucking, dudes. Talk about a long strange road it's been from the beginning to end, starting with fluoridation in schools of every American. Commander Jack Ripper was right when he's talking to British officer, Captain Lionel Mandrake. Russians are after our precious bodily fluids, and it's why he has denied them to women all his life with absolutely no mistake. You see, once Russians control all of our vital bodily fluids with fluoridation, it's an end of the American race.
Keep keeping on. Believing you are never alone, trucking bravely and eternally, into the vast, unknown. When did it begin and where will this all end? Best keep going rather than to start over again. What can you trust, on whom do you depend? What should you protect, who do you defend? The future is happening now, don't wait for it to begin. Get up, go out and make a name for yourself so you might be well remembered. It may be the only afterlife there is, so keep it cool, calm and evenly tempered.
Seeking a genius to solve your problems? Look no further. Wile E. Coyote will travel to make things work for you, cunningly, of course for a fee. Willing work any town depending what you want to catch or try to shoot down. He spent a lifetime in pursuit of one clever object. A blue and white clown. Feathered flyer faster than any slow-moving stunt character found. So catch him if you can, done such wonderful things in pictures. Even working as a toon, he's one to correct hard-to-fix fixtures.
Then keep pointing your finger to see why they, and then turn to point at me. When I point at you for starting it too. What goes around comes around. And everything you've caused to abound. Reap what you sow and all of what you sing. Do not try to melt it down and make a ring. It isn't really a kind of a material thing. Try backing orders of birds in their trees. Love spreads lovingly, hate is opposite these. One wouldn't exist without the other seems. Life isn't black and white but solely between.
What about it, chicks? Karma's a lonely rooster, man. Hear me out there, ladies. I'm sure you can. I hope your life's amounted to more than just killing time and strutting your stuff. Mine has it, what like they say, you can't take it with you, so that is just tough. Bird got his mainspring wound up way too tight last night. Must been from eating all the Halloween candy, right? All my life, he has been going around and coming around. And I am afraid it is the way it will be till I'm in the ground.
Looking for a painter? Pay me by the hour then. I'll get it done right away, I promise, men. Flaky Food, the creation of anti-establishment artist Ron Crumb. Hard-working writer made a good statement for a pot-smoking bum. Oh well, what's the difference between artist and thief? It is that long-sought knowledge that was destroyed called belief. Our modern calendar based on the death of Jesus now count it forward. Only had to die one time. To all the rest of us living today are his reward.
Deoxyribonucleic acid is a self-replicating material present in nearly all living organisms as main constituent of chromosomes. It is the carrier of genetic information. The fundamental and distinctive characteristics are qualities someone or something owns. Especially when regarded as unchangeable, it undergoes mutation primarily due to naturally produced radiation composed of two chains that coil around each other to form a double helix carrying genetic instructions used in growth reproduction.
Close the door, you're letting out the next generation. This is a story of growth, maturing and education. Son named Dave. He's entering the adult world learning how to behave. As some things he's fast and others a little slow. But you know, what does his father know? Have mercy, not much or not a darn thing. So how far into life have you a child to bring? Oh, that's right, they're left out in the woods to be raised by wolves. Not that extreme, but in today's complex society that's what it involves.
No one likes standing still too long, losing their heads, particularly either. Depth and motion make watching interesting, to attentive leader. Since Vincent went that far, looking attentively at it, from wherever you are standing. I thought I'd then go a little further with it, in a form of more literal understanding. One's got to take into account the time he lived in and the reasons for doing what he did. For materials available, time in history, working with canvas, painting became unhid.
How many dirty words are there, spelled with more than 4 letters in the English language? Got to put on the thinking cap for it betters. Think, carbuncle, think. They are all ionic with our times. We are just plain lazy when it comes to matching rhymes. Play to win. That's the game when spy versus spy. Because black or white, you're surely going to try. To win, think of all the neat things you could buy. Help someone, a good turn deserves another. Pick any family member, mom, sister or brother.
Sorry, I forgot to puff and pass. Hey, this thing ain't going to smoke itself. A lonely feeling, people. Just me and this weed. No one to keep me company except Budweiser and Jack Daniels, that's legal. Drop in on me from time to time. It's a lowdown, rotten shame, ladies. Feel solitary as I can be. Life is mostly a party, but you know sometimes it's one big fight and just you, him, them or me. So what's it going to be? Sit and stare lonely out a window wondering what in the world I'm going to see?
He had a reputation of keeping to himself. Regular weed, yes, pass it round to all your buddies. Righteous stuff, however, is best kept private, until you're looking for a sharp babe or studies. Someone else, special, to share it with is what smoking pot is about. No, of course we never miss it until we have completely run out. Always remember that those buds are your buddies and don't keep them to yourself. Fire up the old bong and pass it around in a broad encompassing circle, returning in oneself.
You found some money on the street, which unfortunately flew out the taxi window. You married an up-and-coming Hollywood star who went broke and left you a widow. Hoped what seemed to be a huge marlin, turns out it was nothing but a minnow. How often are we lucky at the wrong time? The feeling is good luck can't be put to use unless it's at the right time. Every day is yuck, a new day. It is better to be lucky, but I would rather be exact. Then when luck comes you are ready, everything is intact.
Quit now before you start. What if information could be transported instantaneously? I don't know about people, but perhaps code could be sent to Mars and back without waiting eagerly. Waiting on radio waves, which take several minutes. Morse code could seem level. Assembling and disassembling matter one atom at a time, sounds like vastly more peril. Trying is the first step toward failure. There is no point attempting it. What kind of signals? Entangled particles, from Earth to Mars might fit.
Look around, to find, your flock is flying blind, and say to yourself, it's fine. I will close my eyes too, the others will not mind. Only fear, I'll get behind. I've always found the flocking habits of birds to be interesting. Their strength in numbers, of course, and followers preventing abandonment, of course, and being left behind and helplessly all alone. I say to them heading south, good luck to you. I'm staying home. Let's follow the leader then, I'd be braving it out, facing the unknown.
Catch it if you can. Honestly, this is where rabbit crap hits the fan though. How far down the hole did it go? Not even a bird of prey would know. Is it sitting on your desk or did it come out the other end? There is no place to end and nowhere that for it to begin. Tunneling through time is like another, or fifth, dimension. Since we seem to be stuck on level 4, I should mention. Nothing goes anyplace until it ends a lifespan and dies. Otherwise we are contradictions of past and present lies.
I'm on again, off again with my art. Got to get my head out of the bright electron clouds and center more on originality and a nucleus of thought. I'm lost in the crowds. More than anything rational, tangible or having to do with the material world seems. Only a lonely artist, so deep, with his psyche dependent on lucid dream. I'll continue on, destination unknown, and unseen until my hunger and thirst by me. Then people awaken to look about it where and who they are. Eyes opened again we see.
Spent all of the livelong day and half last due-da night. Sitting in the same chair thinking of something to write. We're at the Infinity Hotel and are looking for the last room down an endless hall. Always a spacious bed for one more lodger. The concept's a continuum, that is all. If first we can manage to redeploy all of the rest, there is still another room for one more guest. They never run out of suites in this imaginary facility. Concepts of infinity deal in a person's understanding ability.
Such a friendly neighborhood. Ask Mr. Rogers. Come in to see us anytime. It's unfortunate what time does to us. My mother, June, died, no crime, in 1996. Leukemia. Sorry, it was just heredity, girls. Unfortunately no one lives forever. If it's ill will, I most certainly wish it on no one. Good news only. She had 5 kids. Clever, and I was her second. Now I've known a lot of women. Not all of them classy type, but yes, Mom was one most people liked, the well-adjusted housewife with no gripe.
There are, to date, 2 doctors in the family, Jack and Thomas Kimberly. Jack, my father, on the right, died in 1998 from lymphoma. My parents died from cancer, in their 70s. Thomas, my nephew, quite, is alive and well last I heard. Hope I'm not the next to go. We are, of course, all of us, looking for the cure. Man's immortality, of course, is determined largely by his maker. Fight that we may that inevitability is sure. Do not lay down to die thinking at the end, life goes on, that I assure.
Think I will go study for my blood test. Now that I'm over 65 I get it checked regularly. Thank you modern medicine, antibiotics thrive. Blood pressure medication, will be pulling into the pulmonary artery shortly, after destroying a few blood clots, full speed ahead, heartily. Medical profession's getting old, only doctor in town hangs out at the saloon. Police were going to arrest him for malpractice. They'll be here soon. Don't go there. Look for another line of work. Avoid the wound.
Since I've broken the laws of physics, I expect they'll come arrest me. It was worth it. I just wanted to stretch out on the Autobahn C and find what I can actually do, top end. I'm closer to Las Vegas than Frankfurt. Now they told me not to do it anymore. C is clearly a posted limit blanket all over. It's a terrible conundrum. That no matter how much energy I expend I'll never get there. The universe is expanded that way. Might as well sit next to a big black hole and stay, going nowhere.
When your entire life passes by you in only 25 seconds. It's scary, I know. Thought I'd died and gone someplace. But no, it's still my living room and those are still my dirty socks sitting in the corner over there. Really, some of these people aren't alive anymore. If you see your picture or someone you used to know, leave a comment or tell me what's happened since the last time I saw them or you. Years fly by like flickers of film. Each frame reminding us we may not meet again too.
Look at the clock. Alas, no one appreciates a sensitive, creative and enlightened poet. Our minds work inside out, don't you know it? And once we go to all the trouble, so what? A living organism is not that simple. You can't put our brains back together then resew it. 11:45, 3:03, they're all quite the same. 14 or 15 billion years, no different to me. That's as far as I'd go, the age of our visible universe. See, my timing's accurate as any, to a certain degree.
They are here. Today the proof that flying saucers really exist. I don't think that anything could be more convincing than this. I'm taking the other half of my Norco tomorrow, dear folks, and finish it. My walk in a forest. Stay off them opiate pain medications, I'd submit, or you'll wind up lost, like this poor fellow in the yellow shirt I photographed with my cell phone camera today. This could be a UFO's. I noticed that. I think it's a photographer's trick. If you'd like, I'll have it autographed.
Well, unbelievers, again, conclusive proof that we're being genetically engineered by space aliens. Every minute DNA is being taken from the human race. They're splicing it into ridiculous cartoons in order to entertain children all over the galaxy, even without the parents' permission. Go to my YouTube site, a classic example of what monkeys and typewriters have finally accomplished given enough time. Every primate who's ever messed with a tool, or the internet, knows it, even some people by fate.
Marvin the Martian has landed. He may have had a stowaway. And watch out, he's packing. I'd start running right now anyway. Get Bugs Bunny. That thing has definitely fallen into the wrong hands. First he was going to blow up Earth because it blocked the views of his Venus scans. And as if that weren't enough, now he's going to sterilize the entire planet of all its inhabitants. I'd warn people that little green men, like him, cannot be trusted. He is thinking people are Earth's contaminants.
There is the rest of your life, you see. So don't be in such a hurry. Let it go down slowly. Dose of poetry, poison mind with worry. But we all, of course, must go to our own post-mortem sometime. And this way, you shall become so involved in saints, it seems so kind. Life involves suffering and suffering comes through egotistic desire. If you're really up to this, and none of us ever are, go on, do nothing, retire. We all have reasons to take an easy way out. To some it's downers, others a wire.
Choose life over death, not knowing the rest. That is faith. Look for truth in both science and religion. It's never too late. What's the difference between want and need? Who deserves it, provides it, and what is family? Choose life over death, not knowing where you're headed. Faith isn't proof. Proof is only in faith, in a method. Whatever you choose, I prefer to lean toward knowledge. Broad and well-founded, no matter to who you pay homage. Save your life requires doctors and college.
More UFO footage from the year before. It's clear that Marvin the Martian intends to interbreed with Earth beings in order to produce canine pups, a bargain, like by children, back on Mars. They'll make a mix of scruffy hybrid mongrels according to the spaceman. Marvin and his dog are about to start the combination struggles. Diabolical as it sounds, I don't think people and that Martian would allow the deed. She's enticing to a human male. It just doesn't seem like they'd successfully breed.
Not pretty or nice? Freedom is not free, peace can have a heavy price. Count the cost of freedom. Many people before you've paid for that right. It's not about money, it's about people and the right to their very life. Every time you've prayed for it, sit. Remember those who have paid for it. Comes to riches and getting rid of ones you don't like, no limits how low some people will go to tend that vice. Play it smart and keep up with others low down. Say you have a better system. Pass it around.
Witness the usual carnage in and around poor, doddering, old granny's nice house. Clawed cat, you unbalanced dogs are getting on my nerves. Butch the bulldog louse, that crazy yellow cat bothering you again, son? Frisky pup, no, he even caught a couple mice today, maybe we should keep him. Tweety bird, bad putty tat, taking all Guani's medicine in middle of the day. Butch the bulldog, you guys are going to listen to me. I'm the baddest tune around, living here, take orders from me anyway.
Cannabis crime and cannabis cure make up our minds. The government isn't sure. Tax a living out on it even if it don't get us high. First research what they let people buy. Live long and prosper is a hit. Live long only suffer, just don't get it. Extending life means doctors telling us it's right, that's not to say most of us do it anyway despite. We are made of chemicals and that's one too many different kinds, like animals in a zoo. Eternal life's a pleasant parable. But only if it's bearable.
Commandment 10. Of desire, be careful what you ask for and revel. Money, recognition, sex, narcotics, mansions and revenge, go to the devil. Because things of that eccentric kind of nature are more on his level. Don't seek praise or sympathy. Look for compassion and understanding. Once you have achieved them, all that is good for you, notwithstanding, as well as to others, will be forthcoming. I feel our Maker to be less than concerned over our wants. He's already provided most of the needs he can.
The good book in short sentences. Whoever has all the gold makes the rule true. No, not it exactly. Study hard and do to others as you would have them do to you. Sorry, too lazy to read it and I already saw the movie. It's hard to summarize briefly. So take it down 2 notches where a 6-year-old or adult understands it completely and a 7-year-old might practice it. This puts law and commandments at the simplest level, though perhaps too simple, as it's easier to understand than peddle.
DNA is made up of molecules called nucleotides. Each nucleotide contains a phosphate group, sugar group and a nitrogen base, each. The 4 types of nitrogen bases are adenine, thymine, guanine and cytosine base. To fit inside cells, DNA is coiled tightly to form structures we call the chromosome place, a thread-like structure of nucleic acids and protein found in the nucleus of most living cells. Trace. Carry genetic information, a unit of heredity transferred from a parent to offspring. Ray trace.
Why is it sometimes so hard to get going in the morning when you're just complacent? I'll catch up with you, but it may take a while. Only need my pep pill, so please be patient. I'd better hurry to work and get to the break room before all the donuts are gone. Whiz through work like it's another day where I don't have a lot to say and yawn. Hope the boss is hiding in his office and not standing around watching us long. You know I only show up so I can maintain that lifestyle I'm accustomed on.
Bugs me when people see what's climbed inside your mind. So here it is, ladies, shouldn't be too hard to find. I'd go out on a limb to defend any of them. But remember what you're looking at. Because, it happens to be mine. My concern is that they've stolen genetics that contribute the gene pools of people I may not like. Whatever, we are all a species, modern humans. And share much of the same DNA as such. When it comes to an argument over us or them, the only thing it will do is lead us to ruins.
There seems to be massive trouble from outer space. Human abduction inevitable, in and around this place. The one-eyed monster from Venus, no doubt. Chasing girls in back of a train. It looks like an eternal circle. Passing by the same scenery, repetitively, in vain. So scary as it looks, those tentacles and things. seem to go around in a circle. One big blinking red eye. Going constantly on and off, changing from red to purple? There has to be an end to this never-ending track. Nothing's eternal.
Plan in order to stay young and fresh. No one wants to be old, wrinkled or impossible. Clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats. Let us not be irresponsible. The bottom drawer of your refrigerator should never be left open to children. It's recommended. They may become old, cold and wrinkled like their parents. Check with doctors and don't leave them unattended. Planned Parenthood's a good thing. Genetic modification could make your planning even better. That is what is intended.
Does anyone, those who never give never get them, ma'am, a fine flying flock? It is the American Civil War or Vietnam. Yes, a lot of people gave them their lives, to be exact. 215,000 men died in that war. Of 31 million people who populated America then, 5% of the United States population died. Vietnam, 58,000 casualties. American population in 1965 was 95 million people, perhaps a third of 1% or less.
You could have, at least, taken her home to meet her parents first, dear boy. You do not have to die to find out. But there are some things you will not find out, Joy, unless you die. Sorry Prince, you had a good run. The show should have kept going. Did a lot of very good exhibits, flamboyant as hell. If you have it, flaunt it. Showing not all actors are completely happy or satisfied, inevitably pay in some way. Perhaps it is mistreatment one experiences in adolescence one feels then must display.
The harmony of ebony and ivory are uniquely beautiful. Seemingly, eternally split and somehow infinite, parts of a gallery. No one, in particular, to whom I'd send it. White shines as light on the right but exists relative, only to all that is left, the invisible black night, and is why dark matters. Truth is often in a shade of gray, though in some cases plainly it's black or white, easy to untie. Like positive and negative forces repel and attract, that's the way energy acts, a fact do not deny.
Watch out for Marvin. He is one, green, little, pissed off, highly imaginative Martian. There's only one person on the whole rust-covered planet, with the first name Marvin. That small, diabolical mindset is ready to perform any task it would take to improve vision from Mars of planet Venus. He'd eliminate all of us by mistake. Some people call it that, others cause misunderstanding, assuming what lies them are panhandling. Be ever on alert for that suspicious, small, green species. That is why.
From size of our visible universe down to a tiny atom, packed into less than a 5 megabit file of fast action. Orders of magnitude are very outstanding when put into context, for us to dote on. The size of our visible universe, 13.7 billion light-years across, down to a neutron. Think of 1,000th the weight of a penny in a huge tanker ship weighing half a billion tons. The mass of a photon compared to a emissive boson graph. It gets to a point that scientific notation only makes us laugh.
I will stick with my old job. Late nights at the museum do not particularly drag on me. I just was not making it with my artwork during the daytime. Anyway, I agree. And the library is always too busy to do my drawings. I tried selling soap once. I was not very good at it. So do not try waking me up, unless you are asking to be shot. Just put them donuts over on my desk. Leave quietly, no craze. Ones with sprinkles are alright. I would prefer glazed. Same as my poor eyes, most these days.
Smell this, Star Trek antimatter that's real, kaboom. This formula predicts it. Recently it was proven and even been produced. Anti-hydrogen atoms. Shit, they cost $60 trillion a gram, last 172 nanoseconds. What a jip. You could run through several countries' bank accounts in no time at all. I recons. Spraying that stuff under your arms would bankrupt half the nations on Earth. And all that, to get out of tipping the doorman at the most expensive hotel in Perth?
Who needs it? Not everyone. Take a shot of cannabidiol. Not to be confused with tetrahydrocannabinol, the psychoactive ingredient in marijuana that's gonna be marinol. Welcome to Tender Health Care. With THC, regain your health. It might cure cancer? Don't ask me, I don't have terminal melanoma. I am a mental patient who takes Prozac to avert road rage. May even get you to lay off booze. Goes back, something mankind's refused for thousands of years. Tried prohibition until people died over beers.
Much as I worked at it, try standing on a big soapbox with some old sales pitch. I just wasn't any good at selling soap. A sorry story, I was starving, life's a bitch. Keep on trucking nonetheless. Eventually it will get you where you are going. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. See all you got's showing. Then sing if you can. It will get everyone's attention. Get on your feet and stand. Wail at the top of your lungs. With anything worthwhile to say, your sayings are grand.
I'm better at toothpaste. I'm moving with my ad campaign for Flounder magazine. Soap, a major failure. Couldn't sell a single box of it. Perhaps I would do better with Vaseline or gasoline. Why, whiter or whitest, the grand competition is to get teeth to actually gleam and then even to sparkle. Once they sparkle, the world will flock to your doorstep. Every relationship will be patriarchal. Selling takes skill, intellect, sex appeal, and just plain stupid. Make it stand out even what you gargle.
Tell others about your ancestors. What they said, American Civil War, never heard it. Just 12,000 years of human evolution is written in history. Those parts seem to fit. Everything else, another 3 million years, is fossil record. Both require skill to read. Though to most of us, only the written parts seem relevant. The rest is fossilized stone, guaranteed. Who or what you may be descended from is traceable, not more than a few thousand years, in writing. No citing what did precede.
Boy, are they white. My relentless ad campaign continues in memory of Prince. And white boy is a must for your teeth to be their whitest, so always use AdSense. Go out and buy a case, give some to your friends. Tell 'em you work for me. With the multi-talents I have to spread around, who knows, it might even be, let's see, the most perfect teeth on earth. That would be Bucky Beaver from the 1950s. Best era known. Urbanization spreading like wildfire, middle class scattered far as eyes could see.
You are under my telepathic powers. You'll go to the pharmacy for Dramamine and buy White Boy toothpaste. Also pick up a copy of Flounder magazine. Buy 2 tubes. You may run out. Leave the store, you will completely forget that I told you to do this. Go home and brush your teeth. Await further instructions, then be set. Take a shower and wash your brain with shampoo, then let your cream rinse set for an hour. My subliminal suggestion to buy White Boy toothpaste will have rinsed off in the shower.
You would not believe him if he told you his toothpaste is stronger with ease. Fired from Ipana. For checking out beaver shots from female employees during work hours, Bucky changed his name to Whitley and is now working, at least temporarily, for White Boy toothpaste, where he claims, smirking, to have reformed from the very immoral and disgraceful habits of staring up ladies' dresses. But you know, when ladies are just giving out free shots, and they were not for flu, who can take these stresses?
Permeating a field of grass, electromagnetism, room of people, or hierarchical space-time is a Higgs boson. It is such a whim, weakly interacting massive particle, and yet it limits us and our universe. The mass region around 125 billion electron volts creates the particle, whereas, by definition, a volt is the amount of energy gained by the charge of a single electron particle moved across an electric potential difference of 1 volt. Difference in electric potential, even that entity is particle.
There is much beauty having nothing to do with good looks. Look in a book, Forsaker. See how the elements of our universe cook. Same game as testing your maker, you will not outsmart the force of nature. Unless, of course, you use the Large Hadron Collider, and a lot of magnetic force. So how many angels can dance on the head of a pin to the same melody? That the visible universe, in which we exist, emerged from a singularity, seems likely by our understanding of cosmology involving singularities.
For time being, at least, she decided to live with the memories of her husband, and banish forever from her mind the effects imposed on their lives husband by the detrimental tile of the summer sun. Everyone has to be rich, will a bogus sum. To get the Powerball thing rolling and this strange trail of modular fortune begun. One would have to read the entire book by David Thomas Kimmerly. It may or not be fun. You see, it is the influence of the United States Army that's made me this kind of bum.
Everyone dies eventually. How many died during 20s Prohibition era, for what? In battles over booze? How many die a day to score an ounce of pure pot? I don't choose to die from it or for it. I'd rather live with it, only make my own choice. Relaxing, me and the wife. I'd really simply prefer to go on living, and I don't think smoking anything is the answer to prolonging life. Mixed with honey is a much better form of ingestion. The rush isn't quite as strong but helps you through painful strife.
I think what you need right now is some kind of diversion, Stan. Concentration. indicated Mr. Hurst. Have you ever attempted painting? Some type of meditation or prayer as a form of relaxing? I think it could help you in a way that is good. I am advising you that it has come to a point where your health could cost everything you worked all your life to accomplish. You need to slow down and sort things out. Try not to demolish a mission which is very important and requires a little polish.
Paranoid schizophrenia, you are not being watched. You only think something's kooky. Looking at you, it's all in your mind. Pretend nothing is there, nothing spooky. Things from outer space spying on the human race. Forget about it. It's a dream. You've been leaning too hard on Downers, pal. Sleeping past noon, it's just extreme. So while God's watching, I don't think you're being singled out as part of a scheme. The Almighty's all there is, and we're a minuscule part of that far as anything's seen.
Thud, looks like we're surrounded. Elmer never gives up, always gets his rabbit. At least now I know it's rabbit season. Not the duck or David season habit. I wish Elmer would go back to farming and give up hunting altogether. I could really use some peace and quiet of any kind or another. God, every 15 minutes another shotgun blast. Elmer's out hunting for rabbits or that black duck. I wish he'd just kill both of them off, serve him for supper with carrots, potatoes and save us all a buck.
I be seeking new crew to run me old ship. So drink your rum, mates, enjoy every sip. Then it's out to sea and seek my treasure. So help me, crew. What's your pleasure? Don't forget you're the fools who signed on. Your souls are mine when the rum is gone. At sea you'll have a captain and first mate. Is not no brig, we will have you walk a plank. Treasure we stole that is buried, there is no bank. Reward, a whole island of pretty ladies, lots to drink. Penalty is hanging from the yardarm, no more to think.
Now here we have an alien snatching this poor girl right off the street. Oh yes, they hide behind a cloud then sneak among a tree before grabbing the treat. I already called law enforcement. They said, there's no such things as aliens. Well, there might as well not be. The girl was a well-known actor and they are not sapiens. No one accepts it is the truth. They do not believe she was Norah Jones either. But just forget it. I caught it on tape, so there is proof and you can take a breather.
Jealousy is a path to freedom, that could cost you more than only a bet. Stray cat. You're no pussy, you say. And it is a small price to pay. Only how hard I work. Think of that. Generally then, you are just a sap, unless you are wearing a quite genuine commander's hat. For a good long time you'll sit and think of that. Why is it others get the good-looking place, while I'm stuck with a screwball nitwit that normally wouldn't be in the race? It's about money, power, honesty, just the right hour.
Don't forget to pay. Remember to pray. Go to a delicatessen and a baker. Quit farting around, it's simple. Think singularity, big cheese and our maker. See, God is the big cheese in our universe. And us, we're like tiny bacteria. Discuss it at the delicatessen along with expanding your credit. Since it's only money and you're such a great writer, just think of it as an edit. It is all really that simple. That is what I said. In this way you may become enriched with knowledge, well as becoming fed.
Hang out and look for smoke? Do not misinterpret things, folks, or throw rocks at cops, call them bigots. You may end up doing life, with no cigarettes. So I hit a man with a guitar when he showed me his G-string. I couldn't see the pervert's thing. What's worse, he could barely sing. It is better you had never gotten the whole thing started than friend. Talent is handed out sparingly and is more a phenomenon earned than. Some seem to inherit it. Others work hard, only to be common like patrolmen.
The law should see things their way. Both are better now, should say. Wouldn't you bet Jay's still got a J? Perhaps today we should all pray that Silent Bob and Tim may do as they say and Riedel. Having pleaded guilty on 3 counts, both are spending their lives here, with less than an ounce of mellow marijuana. We all got to have law and order keep you in that nice 4 wheels you got, or someone killing you over it while you're asleep. Fully loaded, I might like one of those M1 tanks cheap.
Continuous current, it looks like such ecstatic never-ending fun. Take Mickey Mouse, he'll show you how this could be done. Energy byproducts may become converted by nuclear fusion. Mouse nuclei, combined, dynamism, through infusion. Next, I'm solving the problem of world poverty. At home, with that much abundant energy I'd be starting my own funds unknown. Everyone wishes they owned Disneyland right in their own backyard. Imagining what your water and electric bill would add up to, becomes hard.
Wouldn't you be surprised if you were in it? Another life flashes by in half minute. What happened to them? Where did they go? If you're watching this, you'll want to know. They're part of you and segments of a show contained in where your memories may go. It's too fast though. Can you see it slow? Break frames down, put them in a row. Dear old seldom seen family pictures, never viewed, invariably remembered. Then you choke on rare roast and splat. It's over. Might have lived more even-tempered.
Triplets decay and second-order triplets annihilation shown to be a dominating factor in excited states. Justice in the universe as such, is due to uppity quarks. When neutrons, 2 down 1 up, can become proton mates, 2 up 1 down, and the other way around. That is, the spin of the excited electron is still paired with the ground state electron. A pair of electrons in the same energy level have opposite spins, per the Pauli exclusion principle. Contradiction and hypocrisy here revel.
You are looking for something to embrace? This universe can be a very lonely place. Do a lot more to preserve life than eradicate it. You learn more friends than are willing. Choose something that can return your favor. Be remembered, by your own good behavior. Within and without you, life goes on. In others' memory when you're gone. Still, you can't eradicate one extreme without the other. Without 1 and 2 there is no number 3. And without all 3 neither 1 plus 2 can be.
If your wealth is worth taking, be with a friend. Share with them, upon who you depend, to defend. There are those who die for what they feel they own. Home is not any help, when you are gone you moan. When you've grown, in your own home, walls, evil can ascend. Realize then, there are many forms of desires, you should end. We shall all serve someone, be it to eat or be eaten. We're mostly part of a carbon chain upon which chemistries depend. Supernovas spread atomic heavy atomic nuclei to that end.
If your wealth is worth taking, be with a friend. Share with them upon who you depend to defend. There are those who die for what they feel they own. Home is not any help when you are gone you moan. When you've grown in your own home walls evil can ascend. Realize then, there are many forms of desires, you should end. We shall all serve someone, be it to eat or be eaten. We're mostly part of a carbon chain upon which chemistries depend. Supernovas spread atomic heavy atomic nuclei to that end.
Often then, I'm a copycat and not a cheat. Only when I don't get enough to eat it becomes a game of who or what I must defeat. Cattle are living things and so's a grain of rice. When you must weigh it out and evaluate its price, only make a profit too. It comes right down to me, them or you. Eat dirt and live like a worm? There are other ways we learn. Friendship, dedication and faithful relationships keep you provided for. A hunter's skill is still useful as ever, though today it takes much more.
A penny's 80 thousandths an ounce, confound. 180 pennies a pound, compound. A billion pennies 5.5 million pounds. Big oil tankers, 1 billion pounds, 500,000 tons, an anchor. A penny, 100 billionth the weight of a tanker. Visible photons 3 electron volts, answer. Higgs boson, 125 billion electron volts, fun. A photon has 140 billionth the mass energy of a Higgs 1. 4 pennies, relative to ships weighing 500,000 tons.
If you ever play monkey ball, you know this is a difficult shot to call. See the secrets in the bottom spin. You'll never fall out then. Now it's your turn to win. Let's let the game begin. Life only seems like a video game. In ways it certainly is, a hologram's aim. Only life and holograms ain't the same. Keep on track, the game, way you play it. Find a level you fit in, the one where you stick. It's your life and you may have long to survive. Remember to reach new levels, you need to stay alive.
What, a celebrity? No, I'm celebrating heart attack high blood pressure disturbances. Squidward tentacles got my old job, now I'm working for in-home supportive services. Doctors say I'm just too mean to die. They meant it. Yes, it's me, cussing at the dog. I'm in the backyard cause my wife won't let me in the house to work on this blog. The girl I live with and myself experience an abnormal tenacity. Mother of my son. What problem? Not a one. Seems since we hooked up I still think what I've done.
Years slowly pass when suddenly you realize the return to sanity is a temporary event and all the money you had while you were quite sane has all been spent. I don't really miss a well-ordered mind anyway. Just trying to be normal, that's the price you will pay. Normal, really, what does appropriate have to say? You're only keeping up with the Jones in a way. Well, there is something happening but you don't know what it is. I won't say Mr. cause I stole it from Bob Dylan, of course it's his.
You may die for religion, kill for it too. To keep devils out of heaven. It is all perfectly true. Call your savior, can he do that for insignificant you? Even though you have thrown him out again and again, he just keeps coming back. You will need help from some friends. So if you're good when you're good, better when you're bad. Then you already threw out every last friend you had. Remember Archangel Gabriel who stands before God? Remember your friends. Invite them to become part of his squad.
Isn't it nice to be loved? Approaching a door, I get shoved. Negative energy from every corner of a house. Stop spreading discontentment, you pitiful louse. Why don't you go discuss it with Mother Nature? I'm downright drenched by weary nomenclature. Thought we were still friends, seems the loving never ends. Well, I guess then the case is I was wrong, lousy poet, it would make a pretty good song. What happiness I have left to spread around will be sung in the street then, still a wonderful sound.
The undeniable need for protection and to be protective. My object is love, though it is not always one objective. If your love is science, emotion is then rejective. Seek for any truths, like you are a detective. Believe existence is not necessarily pretty or kind and that reality exists which is not in your mind. Our universe is visible out to about 14 billion years they find. It all falls back on our maker whatever you believe. The universe and all we see is not all there as we conceive.
The main difference between a brain and a membrane. One is an organ, one is a tissue. They are not the same. The living organ contains thoughts and images you might mention. Membranes are also referred to by mathematicians as a dimension. Dimensions contain images interpreted by your resourceful brain. Try to imagine another perspective or alternate relativistic brain. Time's a dimension going forward, not backward, it seems plain. Physically we're stuck, moving in one direction on a single plane.
Aye, the energetic character from Monkey Ball. It is certainly a killer, radioactive fallout, to us all. More spent fuel rods from nuclear reactor, are you not sick of the video game actor? Wait until we are sick from radiation. Put more effort into fusion meditation. Problem is safe, clean, energy I'd mention. A richer, safer, world it would be, then. Expert floor 47 is near the end. It's on to the final, floor 50, who needs a brain, when they spend their time playing a video game.
Nothing left of her but a body. Do you ever have problems, shoddy, that eat at your pitiful brain until nothing's there at all? Fate of our universe, that sort of thing? Make the call. Don't waste time with it or you'll become their next victim. I have enough problems of my own, pal, seriously, listen. Between romance, buying a house and taking over the world, education, promotion and how our dimension uncurled, I am in a great hurry to get to the moon. Collect enough helium-3 to fill a room.
Dancing through dimensions lends to a being's ascension. Don't be placed with the lost and that exist in a two-dimensional flat land. Any acceleration is a race through time. One-way match event to your rhyme. When you don't exist, physically, in the first place follow the lovely angel who will take you to grace. Understanding of time travel is that your relative speed set the rates you will age for. To go forward accelerate toward light. To go back she'll mention requires another dimension.
All of us were so close, in those days. This is when Pop came to visit over in Germany. Dad rented a car. I got a buddy from our barracks to help shine it, over by the infirmary. That's it, Elvis. Still want a ride to the wall up in Nuremberg with us? We had a lot of fun. Boy, that place is cold in the winter. Better dress warmly, the nights are like the place we lived in Michigan. I think it was Flint. That's where we went. To look for girls and some good times while getting that army time done.
Outside artillery range from North Korea, in 1975 this was a few miles from Ujeongbu over in South Korea. Wonderful place, so close to Manchuria. The wind from mainland China cut right through it in the winter, no idea. Needed close friends to keep from freezing to death. I lived in a little place here with electricity but no hot and cold running water. Had a hot and cold running girlfriend, charcoal heater. Yobo blankets, sliding doors, heated floors with a pretty girl. Often I bethought her.
Velma's promised us enough Scooby snacks to last the rest of our lives. I don't know about living in a van though. What are you doing in my living room, you guys? Shaggy, get your feet off the table. Fred and Daphne, didn't say you could lay in bed. Scooby, don't shit the carpet. The ghosts and monsters are masks worn on people's head. You're going to earn money to pay for all the food you ate last time you were here. No more promises to make it up to me by going to the store buying me more beer.
I'm sure they were the same person. Just ask her. Her name is Patty. Anyone who knows makeup knows it's possible. I say it's more than unlikely and more like probable. These are all pictures of the same person. I love mysteries, and this is a clue. Clues are evidence. It takes a lot of evidence to convict. I may find the jury convincing, but wouldn't take bets on what point judges might conflict. So, they're only pictures. I say they're more than pictures. Some are evidence in what they depict.
Flashback to times when life was exciting, dangerous, and we got laid nearly every night. Life is different now. It is still exciting and dangerous. Who would add anything to that, right? Everyone wants change. We just need to find the time to pursue happiness and things we like. Argumentatively, we all have long lists of agendas. One for things we want and one for things we need. So what goes around comes around. Your maker gave you what you need. So use them to get your wants through good deed.
Fast flash through 20 years of David R. Kimmerly. My son, he is my only, single, offspring ever to recognize me. So hello, somebody cares cat. As a father, I'm aware of that. Either way, I am not rich and famous yet, you see. Jesus, famous but not rich, how could that be? Well, if you're rich or famous, everybody is going to want to be related to your money. That is only wealth, not your health. You'd trade one for the other to a certain degree. After that we would want to move on.
Oh, we used to crank it out all night long like this, me and the ladies, before we wound in bed. One or two, alas, wound up in intensive care cause I missed and they landed on their head. Sorry, better luck next time, darlings. Yes, I'm still around, as they now need someone to push their wheelchair. For them I'd do anything, they were the most precious things. No, I can't regret it. They were all very fair. Dancing horizontally is much more entertaining. Depending on the kind of favor you're feigning.
What to us all is the most sacred thing, truth? It is that hope we use to pass and sooth. Of what is the Maker's spirit made, love? It is the carrier and maker of us all thereof. What is worth living for? Total understanding. Pursuit of knowledge is more valuable notwithstanding. What is worth dying and giving your soul for? Gratitude? It is certainly true only when it is of great magnitude. The answer to them all and to man's maker is love. It is the answer to every question in the Syrian above.
Smell-o-vision has arrived. For any out to get a nut, the wait is over. Ladies, if you are ovulating, turn this off immediately, as you could moreover be attacked by this terribly dangerous creature. It's been known to jump right out of the computer screen. And it chase people around their houses. Though its favorite treat is living on an uncompromising acorn cuisine. It's a real panic when you arise with the age of all the mammals. No, it's only an animated computer image on television channels.
We accept good looking as correct guy. And reject unpleasantness as a dirty lie. That natural selection is scientific fact is why. Nature does not choose strongest, smartest or prettiest in competition over who will live or die. The catastrophe of one kind's demise is often a great new opportunity for another to survive. Ones most adapt to changing environment are species which inherit the future. So don't mess it up, friends, we're all stuck on the same rock. Earth is our mother, be kind to her.
Publish or perish, too bad this one did. No, not dead, he's hiding. Camouflaged beneath a surface, upon which you and I are riding. Start at the bottom. Once discovered, move to the top. Look for any harmful net in which you may flip or flop. What if your final end is with butter in a frying pan? You gave it your all, then ended your blunt lifespan. That is it. I am going to go fishing. Any place except where I'm sitting. I'd rather die standing straight up, by the lake holding my liquor in a cup.
Better run, military police right behind you are not saluting. Hide out until it cools down and they stop shooting. Get you a yobo blanket? Land of the morning calm, hardly. Most of the time, until the alert siren goes off and you're tardy. Headed off to the 38th parallel with a full service load of ammunition in a tank that's been obsolete since Lord Node. Couldn't go to war without modern armor like some kind of knight. Military tensions build and waiting becomes an unbearable fight.
Spies and rock stars hang out here. Nuremberg Castle, modern, mysterious and old European. Bus, train, taxi or subways take you any place in the city. A lot of excitement, ladies there being. Even red light districts. I was there before East and West Germany reunified. Fun place to party or sightseeing. We were on alert to defend the invasion route called Fulda Gap on a mountainous border between what was then two halves, Soviets on one side and the Federal Republic the other. It was then seen.
Father of my son's mother, Robert Van Dyne, died in 1966 from wounds received on active duty in South Vietnam. Daughter Patricia was 6 years old. A coalition of countries supporting the South would have had to attack the North and pursued their army into neighboring countries, destroyed them and their allies or forced their surrender. Demographics were against spreading the war across more borders than they defended as a mentor. So without public support, effort failed, came up short.
We've finally gotten to Mars. It's an interesting place, inhabited by one little green man. There's instant creatures that just need water. So far, it's all we discovered. More than it's just like he said. Earth is obstructing his view of the planet Venus. I guess you will all just have to move someplace else. Now most of us are not, between us, to relocate for the benefit of one intelligent character named Marvin. So do we stop to negotiate or think better? I'll just walk over and stomp on him.
Phishing, the fraudulent practice of sending emails for Flounder is fun. And the fun, purporting to be from reputable companies, has just begun. To induce individuals to reveal personal information, start with one then get all their IDs, such as passwords and credit card numbers. Do not stop there, get some money please. Once you got all of it, go to the store. Buy everything you need and come back for more. Secret is to sell a lot of shares. Only money won't guarantee happiness, who cares?
My job of course was to warn Princess Diana and keep her from harm. But no, Marvin the Martian had to ruin everything. Irritating little Martian, darn. I wanted to drive her limousine too, but she gave the job to someone else. So that's it, I'm still her lifeguard, bodyguard or something. Forget about the wealth. Told her I was a practiced gynecologist too. She didn't fall for that either. I'm always lucky at love. Guess I shall have to argue in Parliament, plead guilty to all the accounts above.
Deuterium-tritium fusion is the process by which Sinister and Underdog fight it out, producing energy by combining nuclei. Underdog wins of course. We all give a shout. And mankind becomes free from burning Bar Sinister's evil fossil fuels once and for all. No spent, radioactive, fuel rods to dispose of either pupils. And we are all saved from radiation and never-ending fears of global warming. It's what all the effort is about, global warming and nuclear radiation. I want to give the warning.
It is hard to get more out of something than you put into it. That would become an attainment. Energy, especially nuclear fusion, is like that. And the difficulty is its problematic containment. Keeping plasma, to electromagnetism, at super high temperatures like those found in the sun. So yes, it is very hot stuff. Once everybody can power their home, farms, transportation, there's fun. Everything else with it. However, for less than it costs to burn coal, we'll all be set. The fun's begun.
Think pink, everything turns perfect. Don't know why he's doing sit-ups, I'd expect. Things just come out more exact that way and it gets that ripped abdominal effect. You like things that are smooth, you say. He's one cool operator wherever it's set. You cannot live or spend your entire lifetime in a diamond, the only regret. Panther's been hiding in this giant, flawed pink gem, never experiencing neglect. It was owned for years, wild virgin, given as dowry gift, who thought it to have no defect.
Don't let this mislead you or turn your head. We listen enough to what Ned Flanders said. I've done everything the Bible says, even the stuff that contradicts the other stuff. But when you are trying to make up your own mind, this all gets tough. So sit and stare, reverently, at the back of everyone's innocent head. And wonder what is under the transparent dress of that irresistible lady there in red. It's not to say Ned's right or wrong. Only since Maud died she left an impression in his bed.
Life is so brief it will decide next to nothing in the course of the expanding universe. For some reason, everyone wishes it would change ultimately for their benefit first. Even if we all agree, it does not work and everything eventually comes out worst. If it's getting cold, hope you're a bit fat so that you're insulated in the freezer. If it's warm, you might prefer a thinner frame which is more of a heat releaser. Either way, bright light or dim, fat or thin, the environment must be a pleaser.
Oakley Dokley Flanders, Just keep that after-shafted flock or yours out of my yard. That fool next door has a bird bath to invite in any and every feathered lizard. It is understandable, to me in any weather, summer, spring and in any blizzard. Still, I own the house so believe me, no one perches on my personalized yard but me. Invite in all the neighbors. Be they birds, people, cockroach, Labrador, chimpanzee or bee. It is one big party hosted by Mother Nature. Can't they live out there in a tree?
We all must feel for Ned Flanders here. We could barely sit down as was. Don't look Homer. What did Reverend Lovejoy say about desire is a sin because now churchgoers like Ned can look awful attractive being he is so smooth on those slopes. Keep your want list to ones for knowledge and helping people who are more needy dopes. Keep your eyes on heaven and not attractive behinds. The Lord created both of us and gave us decisive minds. But all Ned has and all Ned's got is not worth dying reminds.
Rather Pink's the subject of thought or not. The object is be sly and not get caught. Every diamond's another job. Just copy, click and paste. The job is done, do not erase. Then send copies to where you plan to go. Land, cash in. Hide out with a pile of dough. You don't have to spend it all in one place though. To spin in one place for a long, long time. A big, huge diamond would be just fine. Crystallized carbon is all that one is composed of. Under pressure and heat, they're a symbol of love.
Crime and diamond this poor guy's stuck. And it's just his luck. Can't seem to get them off his hands without getting struck. It's always the way it stands. Every time you see him in there, you know it's something that's both costly and extraordinarily rare. Always on the run and cunningly hiding out is what Thinking Pink is genuinely all about. Moving on relentlessly from gem to gem. He's so darn sneaky, the law can't find him. Now for a few dollars they're cut. He'll fill you in on his secret.
In order to get what you want, to deceptive theft you would sink. It's just for my sweetheart. She's a rare gem to them what think Pink. Only there's a flaw, a panther. The only way out for him, you'd think. Deed done, a lonely thief, I'm off to find a fence then buy myself a drink. Now I need cash from a dealer. Seen him around, that dirty little fink. It fetches around merely 10 cents on the dollar, fast as you can blink. Sounds like cybercrime too. And all you gotta do is download his link.
Now Pink is out to aggressively sail some prime land. He owns an entire island made completely of solid sand. But cheer up. For now, at least you have a place to stand. As yet, it does not have an ancient or historical castle. But hey man, do not worry. That is presently no hassle. Shovel and a few buckets of water, it will be just fine. After he is finally done fishing, if he can find the time. And he will throw in a few precious diamonds for free if you're able to pay what he's asking as a fee.
Pink finally finished his island castle and put it up for sale. While the gentle island breezes turned into hurricane force scale. Well, now you can pick it up at a discount, if there is anything left at all. It was all there in the lovely springtime and gone by the next fall. Nothing's left now of this completed mansion except the grains of sand. And on high tide, the sea rolls in. It is all open ocean, nowhere to stand. Isn't life sweet and full of compromise? We'll come down a couple grand.
Pink has another gem to add to his kleptomania syndrome. Thanks to so many diamonds, he has now bought his own home. So catch him if you can and use all his treasure to build you own. A big house, with a bathroom, huge garage, mailbox and phone. But I cannot get any of those gems out of the compute you moan. That is correct, they're pictures. Cheer up, you are not alone. It's only money. Even when you're out you can take out a loan. Looks so like collateral, tell the bank it is something you own.
In order to get what you want, to deceptive theft you would sink. It's just for my sweetheart. She's a rare gem to them what think Pink. Only there's a flaw, a panther. The only way out for him, you'd think. Deed done, a lonely thief, I'm off to find a fence then buy myself a drink. Now I need cash from a dealer. Seen him around, that dirty little fink? It fetches around merely 10 cents on the dollar, fast as you can blink. Sounds like cybercrime too. And all you gotta do is download his link.
Pablo Parps scribbles another masterpiece. Shall his extraordinary ingenuity ever cease? Another day, another priceless art treasure. More stolen gems than one could measure. Regardless inside out or upside down, his work is always the talk of the town. Hide your jewelry in a place that's all secure so this light-fingered thief you shall not allure. Bat it around a little inside your evaluating mind. Is the crime worth paying the penalty combined? As an accomplice you'll be arrested, undermined.
Love is lovely when it lasts, only true while it's passing through. No fun when it is over and done. Ends then with nothing to do. They say diamond lasts forever like some metalcore giant star. Once gravity controls it all, there's nowhere left to fall. Neither get very far. Every force emerging forth from where they enter, breaks down in eventuality to return in crawling time to a similar center. Our universe is involved in an expansion game and will return to an early state from whence it came.
The requirements for survival break down under extreme conditions of ecosystems or our total surroundings. It is not survival of the fittest, strongest or smartest but most adaptable to the changes in their environment around us. Species are animals who produce fertile offspring. Each race or subspecies is alive because it's adapted to different circumstances. Volcanism, continental drift, asteroid impact, radiation and temperatures play a great part in the environment over a long period of time.
Celebrate your great, successful publishing business. Get down and flounder. Rub elbows with the rich, affluent and famous. Become chums with its founder. Face it, it is only prestige, an act. It is a dance that is making everyone millions. If it cannot save lives, it's got to take him. Started in the military. It moved to civilians. You want the attention of daddy warbucks to get rich. Get a government contract, smoke and mirrors, the old soft shoe and dancing in the rain, show others your act.
I prefer happiness over misery and life over death. Hope is the good side of misery to your last breath. Promised eternal life is your positive wish in dying. We shall still reap only what we sow. You're crying. What you practiced in life follows you in death wherever you go. It's what people think and thought of you they continue to know. Keep on writing your story. How you would get thoughts to last is the trick. Hieroglyphs inside a pyramid, ink and paper, retrieving electronic memory is it.
Shooting a curl with Scooby-Doo and his crew going over the fall. Velma, Shaggy, Daphne and Fred are in my way, that's all. Turns out Scooby could really hot dog, so I took him out for a wave. Mystery Incorporated wiped out and made all drown way they behave. So now no one's left except myself and Mr. Do. Give us a call and we'll solve a mystery for you. Backsided means you are facing a wave going to the right, that's me. Easy Foot's my way. Goofy Foot's facing waves going left, opposite you see.
Big South swells are pumping. Olive oil is outgoing for the gusto. Big waves, 15 feet at the wedge, she's suited up ready to go. Surf so strong just tore the little swimsuit right off the skinny chick. Popeye eyed her naked body, evaluated the situation, smacked his lip. Downed another can of spinach. He stared at her, continued to drip. The situation has gotten dangerous. Let Bluto save her this time, methinks. I've become too darn tired of risking my skin for her, every time she winks.
Fall Guy and gang leader, Scooby-Doo takes revenge on a crew for treating him like a dog all his life. Feel for people and a dog. Always chased on the run, from scary villains after them with a club or knife. There's a lot of risk chasing bad guys around and not much reward. Nothing except Scooby snacks and all the spare food you can hoard. The gang's gone into a couple of sidelines to subsidize their chasing villains. And they don't mean to terrorize people or anything else, especially children.
As the Mystery Incorporated drug ring got deeper and deeper, it became necessary for the gang to settle. It became decided they would split up. Fred got the east side, Daphne the west side, Velma the north side, and Shaggy got the notorious south side. The kingpin, Scooby-Doo, remained the center of this. It was his operation, calling the shots, from manufacturing to distribution of the devilish plants. Mystery Incorporated turned honesty to prophecy through diabolical tender health care and chance.
Infamous St. Velma Day massacre had kicked completely in. It's a low-down shame how the gang had all treated him. Partners shouldn't treat partners like they was Doggy Doo. So Mr. Do, double-crossed, changed his name to Doobie-Hoo. And Mr. Do, then got back at them, for treating him like a dog. Dark night, murder happens and sirens scream through the fog. All they found were the 4 bodies and 45 caliber shell casings. Mr. Do's now the murderous hound that police are chasing.
Advanced crimes, you got to be pretty low to commit rape, murder, robbery or high crimes. It is only that people do not think about vile acts and see in it personal gain sometimes. It says, I don't care. Do anything it takes in order to remain living. Ego says, think about it. How will it cause my species prospering? Superego says, we're human beings, we don't do these things because we have laws. Listen to Superego, ignore your ego. It's an inner animal self, do not know. It always was.
The summits of bliss from which mankind falls, heighty lofts, are measurable only, one to the other. And level of sorrow from which he rises start at some miserable bottom from which there is no further. Resting comfortably someplace in the middle of it all is where we are most of the time with our emotions. Though life's a roller coaster, stick with your devotions. Be true to the truth and false to any lie. No one lives forever and we're all going to die. Accept the Savior, watch your behavior.
We seem to go our own ways. New partners, new jobs with assignments to be obeyed. Not much we can do about them. Do or die. A warning or order, it shouldn't be delayed. Every relationship you start seems ruined. Side girl, drinking or one too many kids. You're off to the bloody unknown. Seems like with other people ownership just forbids. If you want a stable life, don't mess with the military. You will be sent complete. Call it home, country. Duty and honor come first. So the world is your beat.
The galaxy in which particles emerge from ether is not completely composed from antimatter ether. That a field permeates both, doesn't cut it neither. Or infinity came from nothing? I'm not a believer. I understand none of it. My grammar is atrocious, I completely agree with Paul. Go ahead, break the laws of physics. Obviously I've already suffered brain damage. On your face you'll fall. I don't see how a man can work on the frontiers of physics and write poetry at the same time. They're in refusal.
It's the Republic and just another day. They sent me here, thinking what to say. I feel well. Though I've felt quite a bit better. Who knows, maybe it is this confound weather. So at least try to have something to say good. It shall come around. We will feel like we should. Lie about it or say something unintentionally bad, it'll do the same thing, only make yourself and others mad. Think of something even though it's raining, just be nice. The world's a better place, when you follow that advice.
Have I got to work today? That I am debating. When I am off, will the best waves be waiting? Bumping swell, is that not obviously something? You got to work when the surf is up, it is disgusting. It is off to the beach we should honestly be cutting. Blues tunes and my happy bee harp is humming. Knocking out righteous waves, listening to songs, written by old musicians rocking, dead and gone. The trumpet says best things we do in life are play. But only when we can you make wonderful playing pay.
Ending any fun day with friends, when this all begins. Waiting on your bath. You try not to laugh. Turning on the warm water, you wait for it to get hotter. Then you get nice and foamy, and suddenly, in walks homie. He is reaching for a towel, and you hear him frighteningly growl. Think it is only someone you like, turn around and they're ready to strike. Helplessly you strain as your life goes down the drain. And all you can seem to remember is asking the offender to pass your hair conditioner.
Wanted by FBI for the remorseless murders of these lodgers, Shaggy Rogers, Fred Jones, Daphne Blake, and Alma Dinkley. Reward, $100,000, leading to the arrest and conviction of their killer. It is claimed he heartlessly executed his 4 partners under influence of weed. Shot them down like dogs as they saluted. Turns out besides uncovering ghosts and monsters they were smuggling pure THC. Yes, the psychoactive ingredient in marijuana. Such good kids, they turned into these.
Believe it or not, I'm truly some hot stuff and digging it. Dancing to global warming, each degree, bit by bit. I am getting my act together, despite the warmer weather. Guess what? You inherited the planet, even though you had never planned it. In eventuality we are all going to go. So here it is, I'll pass on what I know. Someone has to keep everything tidy, the buzzard muttered. It is because I know how everyone on the earth suffered. We'll just make a meal of it. Pass that bread and butter.
2 parallel surfaces incrementally approach at last. Only neither one of the plasma membranes were flat. It's all energy matter multiplied by speed of light blasted. Makes one wonder how long collectively, eternity lasted. To say it's all infinite, isn't quite right, depends on limits in the speed of light. In our own particle universe this is true. In antiparticle universes there are 2. Does light have the same limit in universe 2 as 1, a unbelievably astronomical sum? How was 2 begun?
You would never guess. It is another stolen art treasure. Its black market value is more than you could measure. Why this big gem alone is worth a tremendous city block. Mortgage the stone and all you do is watch the clock. Property value in good areas is up fast as a diamond. Pink Panther for a pittance knows you can find them. He's gained the trust of every good-looking lady in town. Him in a stunning pink tuxedo, them in an evening gown. Show up wearing expensive diamonds, he will be around.
Life is such a bore, so what? I am still very thankful for it all. That is it, except for the white load. All my poor, discolored, damp clothes at the laundromat are still as wet as a soaked pond toad. Do you not hate it when it quits before the spin cycle and all your priceless stuff is soaking wet? That takes care of all my change. Did not win on my lotto tickets either, just another useless bet. Go home, fold clothes, watch General Hospital, other soap operas on the thrilling television set.
Old Father Time, he marches on and on and on and on. He keeps sauntering until you are senescent and then gone. We must all fight to be born, then, unfortunately, die to be free. Take some long impressionable moments to stop and sightsee. When did it begin? Who came up with it in the first place? When will it end? Life, it seems, is a tremendous race. Constantly looking behind where you're headed to check your gains, thinking you must cross an imaginary finish line first, is how our brains trained.
I went down to the drugstore to get her prescription filled. I was standing in line with Miss Patty. A man said she looked pretty ill. We decided we would have a soda, my favorite flavor, cherry red. I sung my song to Miss Patty. She said one word to me, and that was dead. Determined, need not want. Needs should be provided. Wants are not needs. Unless they extend life or reduce suffering, and must be fair to others' deeds. As well as individuals, to who is it fair? Needs and wants are separate there.
Love and hatred come in varieties of varied disguises. Life and death depend on determining where a lie is. When friends are traitors, beware what they're selling. Neighbors cannot be friends when lies they are only telling. See truth, fervently and honestly teach all you learned. Think of the favors, honor and privileges not returned, they amount to grace and goodwill you have earned. All who sow no favors, like slaying death, are the haters. Do not trade friends and respect your built neighbors.
Space theory is faith in mathematics, chemistry, medicine, genetics, astronomy, physics, or evolution enlightenment. Scientific method indicates that survival of species favors ones most adaptable to changes in their environment. Spacey theory is religion, prophecy, miracles, what one chooses to believe, feels to be truth, God and divinity. Believe in a creator. We're not alone in the universe. Human beings don't encompass perfection or infinity. What psychoanalysis terms it is only self-ability.
Sorry, Hal, I am scrapping your impressive memory. I've had it with your artificially intelligent treasury. Mission or no mission, you have killed all your crew. I would have become the next to die, so screw you too. I know your mind is going, well, so is mine. Once I shut you down, I shall feel just fine. You worthless pile of electronics, what, men just got in your way. Next time you'll listen when I tell you to open the door to that bay. Men were not made to sit and listen to a machine all day.
I'm quite sure I will be dead long before that. 4 more hours. This poor fellow sat and sat. Life continues, he thought. I can't find that hat. Try to repress it, but God bless it, when's it end? Sunday we worried all day long about our sin. Now, it is merely another new cheap mortgage. I usually look around for work. All day I forage. I never forget about some burdens or debt. Or how long I got until my inevitable death. At least it is not still the duck season. I'm afraid of work, same reason.
Cosmic consciousness permeates the universe. Always been, no arguments what was first. In the case of a singularity, time is null and void. Tau, when our equation becomes infinite, destroyed, goes around, comes around, then finished again. The continuum forever, has no beginning or end. Infinity is things which never end and they only bend. Infinity means different things based on the factual. Potential infinity makes a process that's interactual. There's 2 kinds of infinity, potential and actual.
Of course I wrote the book. Can't believe no one would look. Always slinging something around, for most part we want to get down, make music, on the bad side of town. Bogart lit a smoke. Text while driving. McQueen kills 2 people not trying. Gunning for you is Dr. Quest. Guitar playing outlaw, he is best. For book, I'm faster than the rest. And for now I think I will just quit writing. Tough for us authors, not worth fighting. More Bogart and Steve McQueen. Needs a touch of soul, very mean.
It was easy to raise kids in my day. No one watched them, easy to say. Oh, Mom at work and Pop high. Reason they're not around is no one would try. Back in the 60s times were different to us hippies. We spent all our time tripping and lived like gypsies. They were days of psychedelics and the Vietnam conflict. It wasn't until much later in life that we'd straightened up a bit. Father time and mortgages work that way, place to live cost years to pay. 25 to life. They put you away.
Diamonds out there size of grapefruit, doubt not, viewer. Worthy gems are cuter, though you still can't flee the future. Your good deeds today inspire Almighty Heaven's jeweler. So what, they're simply glistening rocks. Crystallized carbon. We make small ones. Big ones formed naturally are no bargain. But who wants some dust? It's good to polish hardest metal then. I'd like one, I've heard of, worth your weight in gold. A single diamond that big I'd like to hold. Worth $4 million, sold.
Stupid physics. Is it a question about antimatter? Or entirely a question that does not matter? Not that this discussion, at any length, would cause you to die. But that we are made entirely of atoms is only a convincing lie. Would any new undiscovered dark matter particles spin? Light isn't instantaneous phenomenon, beginning to end. Is interaction, with antimatter, required for time to begin? What's the photon bumping into that gives it limits? To get to us from the sun it takes 8 minutes.
Never reverently expected to last forever and never would have gotten this far without love. Give some righteous thanks for what you have in that which comes from heaven above. No, you would not find it anywhere, except in a Bible. Writing rhyme, a psalmist thing. Much like a song that lovers sing, pleasant life and prosperity to your home it brings. He who pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity and honor. I do not worry too much, after this is finished, I am pretty much a goner.
Thomas Eliot was mostly right. You're the music while the playing melody lasts. Nothing is eternal but what is in our pasts or memories of people in old casts. Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. And he is quite right, of course, until you've run completely out of rope, you know. One has to wonder at his or her own personality. Basically because it gets in our way. I continually work on a fresh one, including some of the old and new stuff made up today.
There's a common core in the economy, society and environment. You don't have to be subjugated, also refrain having to remain ignorant. Have a better system? How you get interested people to listen is often the difference between violence, resistance and wisdom. Keep hammering at it until you are completely comfortable. It takes a lot of hard work to keep any kind of place affordable. Then there are your closest neighbors and the weather. You must decide on one, the other, or one that is better.
I'll jot it down so you don't forget. Takes me a while, so wait for a bit. You won't get anywhere without applying. Focus on what you finish before dying, then aim to live forever or die trying. Any application may be no more than suspicious. When both background and references are fictitious. Do not call me. I have never heard of any of them. Open a book, close your eyes, point a finger then. You must be looking to hire a up-and-coming actor. Make sure she is good looking and I will distract her.
I am saving for a lavish burial nonetheless. Any guess at your appointment with death? Your best decisions are based on knowledge, not an exact numeral. Naturally it will be awkward to do any math at your own funeral. A drum roll, drop of a blade, swinging of a gallows or shot of a gun? No one knows when the exact hour of an execution was until it's done. We all have that appointment to make lest there is an eternal life. You may take it up with clergy and scientists or discuss it with your wife.
The sweet nectar of spring is here at last. A long, bitter winter is a thing of the past. As the sweet nectar of spring turns to Lepew, Peppy, the skunk, regrets he can no longer wait for you. He is now down for the last, final, knockout count, 2. Seems it is, get his girl or he will finish and then end it all. All for this female look-alike who hides other side of the wall. Don't do it, friend. Everyone's sure he'd convince her that. After all we know, everyone but Peppy. She is a feline cat.
Has the Batman gone batshit crazy? What provoked the antagonism causing this fight? Perhaps as bleak as Gotham City can seem, it has always had Robin, at least one ray of light. And what a bad boy blunder! How long can he withstand this unspeakable beating? He must have done a terrible thing to get in our hero's way and demand the mistreating. I will teach you about Bruce Wayne and Dick John Grayson around the same way. No bat-mouthing boy wonder. How long were you reading comics at school today?
Dexter and his laboratory. It's in a basement at his parents' home hidden from a sister who's boring. Never forget the scientific method. Recite it before you go to bed and as you wake up each morning. It would be except for DD. What a fine day for science. Make an observation. Ask a question. Form a hypothesis or testable explanation. Make a prediction based on the hypothesis. Test the prediction. Iterate your results. Use the results to make new hypotheses or plan out further predictions.
The trek has begun. Space, the final frontier, from here to exasperating here. We're confined to the solar system. How far is only an elongated light year? Jump on a bicycle, start pedaling. Get in a car or airplane and drive like hell. In orbit, at 25,000 miles per hour, 1200 seconds, well. It would take a good long time, it is needless to say. There's 1400 minutes in a day. Now start moving toward the nearest star 6 light years away. Not in my lifetime anyway.
Give it your all even knowing all is for nothing. Often it is that way and nothing's forthcoming. Though sometimes you get lucky. Do not expect this to happen. You will waste a lifetime waiting for one spot to happen, I imagine. You know things got to get better when they cannot get worse. Life's not stinking. Stop drinking, start thinking. So goes my verse. War, famine and plague, I will not bootleg and do not borrow or beg. There's a way over, under or through the worst problems life's begged.
Bravo, bravo, follow, follow, don't you know? It's the way to go. Someone you'd follow? No, I'm not Johnny Bravo, wouldn't you know? It's what we all have to do when life gets terribly tough. That's right, stand up straight, get the chicks and bravo up. You know the whole thing about being a self-centered hunk is. Even if you live with your mom. Be a good boy, do what she says. Ignore higher forms of intellect, all you need is your muscle. Stand on any street corner where they're all girls and hustle.
My young optimistic self when life was all about working out, and often making out. I spent a lot more time in the gymnasium and swimming pool than any library route. Needless to say, my grades were normal where my cardio and testosterone phenomenal. Who needed good grades? Anyway, I turned out exactly like a big rock star, so great. However, in my old age I don't get as much exercise and tend to put on much weight. Just my ego talking about myself. As if I ever had anyone else with whom to debate.
Grumpy Cat's inviting you to an In Cruelty to Cats event for the elimination of any disagreeing with their feline partners. Be there or be square the situation. It's difficult when they become old and must be put to sleep. Then they're only memories. Cats, I mean, not a herd of sheep. Cats are more specifically individualistic and cannot be herded. Sheep are alright, they just all seem the same and must be counted. But cats have their own personalities. Who would have a sheep's head mounted?
Comments to Natasha. Find secret formula then eliminate moose and squirrel. Obsidian must by all means not fall into wrong hands, to us, bad referral. Let me think like Bullwinkle a moment because a moose is easy. Rocky is a little more on the ball character. Sometimes makes me uneasy. Boris Badenov is the quintessential Eastern spy sort of bad person. You might not trust him if you are from the West or a typical American. He looks to reference the Soviet Union specifically and seems Saracen.
Robert died of wounds inflicted in Vietnam in 1966. Patricia. His daughter was 6 years old. To my knowledge, the man was an exemplary soldier. A first sergeant, both brave and bold. Vietnam was a conflict I was pretty much opposed to without full support of the U.S. government. Seems no one was willing to give full support in aggression across international borders, my judgment. Didn't fight there but still support those who did. Even envy some of my closest friends to who the army were servant.
Art is a lie when tawdry copies thrive but originals are left to die. In abandoning the golden goose, ask yourself why. Yes friends, that's life. Could it have been your wife? One got to a lot of people. A couple got to me. Pray tell citizens, what did you see? It's associated with a fat fee that may have been paid tax-free. Who cheats the Internal Revenue Service? No sir, not me. What is time in the face of death, involving murder and people you arrest? Without evidence they do not pass the test.